Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading. So you might be interested in that.
Good morning. I'm so glad to be back from vacation. It's a great start to a new week. My kids are all home, so I wanted to do my video early so that it'd be a little bit quieter. But what we're looking at this morning is the minute chart, looking at Bitcoin on top and the S&P on bottom. And there is something unusual about the activity this morning. Every other day for weeks, every single move was matched perfectly. And so you can see I hope you can see my crosshairs. But so every move up was matched with the move up, every move down was matched with the move down. And they pretty much just went exactly in sync. This has happened most of the day, but there are some striking differences that are very unusual. This move up in Bitcoin was not matched with the S&P, and then Bitcoin dropped off earlier, and this is extremely unusual because they were absolutely in sync perfectly, and not just by move for move, but it was also by percentage. And so these are not in sync the way they have been historically. And I want to show you something that Bitcoin is at a very critical point today. I'm going to go to the daily chart and you can see exactly why. So we have a resistance line that we have never crossed. And it was so close at yesterday's close that I actually got very surgical, and I went in and manually updated the close at the top of this candle, and I went down and I found out that this one was slightly higher than the close here, and so I pushed the resistance line out just as far as I possibly could using the close data, and I even zoomed in on the 5-minute chart to get it exactly, like absolutely exactly, so that we can see this line for what it really is. And yesterday's close, so you'll see this line on even the 1-minute chart. So I'm going to go to the 1-minute chart and zoom out, and you can see right here, 17, this is when the new day began. And if I zoom in on this new day, you'll see that the 17th intersects with this chart. Let's see. Oh, you know what? It was the 5-minute chart. I couldn't get more accurate than the 5-minute chart for some reason. Let me go back to... Okay, let's go to that 17th close. Yeah, so our close was here. It was right here. So this is a new day, new candle, new chart. We closed so close to this line. It's like absolutely indistinguishable. I mean, this is a dollar, less than $1 away from this line. And so you have better believe that whales are looking at this trend line. This trend line changes everything, because if we have a significant break above this trend line, our descending triangle is going to be invalidated. And I think there are some pretty big whales and hedge funds that have a lot of money riding on both sides of this. I certainly know that there are some hedge funds that have hundreds of millions of dollars that are shorting Bitcoin, and we are absolutely being squeezed into this corner. And yesterday's close, we closed absolutely on this line, and so everything comes down to which side breaks, and we're looking at a matter of days before there has to be a decision on one side or the other. And honestly, I made a mistake and assumed that the markets were closed today. I thought that kind of the AI research I was doing, that it would happen on Tuesday, but here we are. S&P's pumping away. You can tell how much I care about the stock market. But this is a major, major situation for anybody who is short. Because if we close this candle this significantly higher, so I've taught you guys how major resistances break, right? They break either by a huge candle that launches through a major resistance, or you have to close essentially on the change, and it's the new day that gives you a fresh start. This is absolutely playing out right now. And one other thing is that the more touches on a support or resistance, the more likely it is to break. And we've had a lot more very repetitive touches, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And so, and in this case, because we've come down so far, this sideways consolidation is actually pretty bullish, where even though a descending triangle has a higher chance of breaking to the downside, I think we've broken so far to the downside for so long that in this case, I actually expected the right side of this to break first. But it's super emotional, and you can see it because the S&P and Bitcoin have broken exact parity. And the S&P right now is up 2.23%. Bitcoin's only up 1.18%. And this is unusual. They've usually been exactly the same. So there are some panicking whales out there. There are forces at play. The tug, the push and pull here is very, very tangible in the market this morning. And I kind of wanted to bring that to your attention, because this could be a major, major turning point. And the highest point we traded today was where? Right up against our 50-day moving average. We're so close to this thing. It's now our 50-day moving average is now trading at 19,690. So we're up below 19,700 as a 50-day average. And with us trading at about 500, we are literally a handful of $100 away from exiting the red zone. If we break this trend line and then exit the red zone, it's going to be a major turnaround. I know that sideways consolidations can go for a long time, but historically, in the case of Bitcoin, we really don't consolidate much more than this. If we do, there's quite a few swings before we start gaining momentum. This one has been very strange because we had a tiny little move, and then we've just gotten tighter and tighter and tighter. And I'm sure you've all seen the same news articles that I have, that the S&P 500 is now more volatile than Bitcoin, and today shows that as well. I mean, we're down. We're less volatile today than the S&P is. But breaking this trend line is absolutely, I mean, we've attempted it so many times, and it is such a huge, huge move, a bullish development in Bitcoin right now. I was very scared. I talked to the pro channel on Saturday night that we do have a head and shoulders on Bitcoin here. You can see it plain as day, and a break to the downside would mean our target is essentially, our target was going to be near or at just barely above our selling climax down here. So not pretty. There was a lot of things not looking good. But woke up this morning, I didn't even realize the S&P was going to be trading, and it just so happened that the S&P is trading in Bitcoin's favor, and Bitcoin is trading below where we should be. And it's because of this kind of the monumental moment that we're at. This close could be the start of everything, because trends like this, this has ruled Bitcoin since April. I mean, it's a massive downward resistance, and at some point, a decision had to be made whether we break out to the bottom or the top, and we attempted it here. We almost broke out right during this candle, and it's very interesting to have a very bullish candle right before our I'm calling this our spring, and then as we kind of rejected off this line, we had another bullish candle. So there are forces at play where there are whales that want it to go up, there are whales that want it to go down. I just feel like the ones who want it to go up have a little more money. And that's really all it comes down to. I know that in the broad market, there are I know the United States has been, very against Bitcoin. It feels like regulations and anything that comes out publicly is always very negative. So if central banks wanted to push Bitcoin down, they really could. I mean, there's an infinite amount of money that they have at their disposal, but Bitcoin is still less than $1 trillion. Our market cap right now for all of crypto is 900 billion, and so it's not quite a threat, but it sure could be once we get up to higher levels. Anyway, this is really exciting. We have 9 hours, and with this candle is absolutely not closed. The only thing I can talk about is how we absolutely closed exactly on this by end of day. I will be very curious to see where Bitcoin ends up today, because there's a high chance that the S&P will close positive, and the only way Bitcoin could reject off of this line is if we close at or below 19. So I zoomed in on it, on the 1 minute chart. Actually, I'll do it with you. This line, right here is going to be, it's at 19,175. We would have to push down so far that we'd be down trading below 19,175 by end of day. If that happens, it will be another technical rejection off of this resistance line, and it would be an ugly one, because that would be a very long wick. So I am very curious to see how this goes. If we get even a sideways candle, anything would be it's essentially, it's hard to not end up bullish today with all of the forces in play. It would be a very obvious manipulation for sure. But yeah, today is a big day. It could be this could be it. The day that Bitcoin finally exits its consolidation. So very exciting. Ethereum's just playing along. I was telling the pro channel last night, I know we dropped out of our or 2 nights ago. I know we dropped out of our bear flag, because this is absolutely a bear flag, and we did fall out right here. I said, you know what? I don't feel a lot of pressure from Ethereum. I think Ethereum's going to follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, this we're going to be popping right back in. And look at this. We're doing exactly that. I just don't think that this pattern had much power, because it's just not an independent chart. So all eyes on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to pretty much dictate everything else. But these positive moves have created a lot of positivity throughout the rest of the market. There are quite a few alts that are showing a decent amount of strength, and it's pretty cool to see. If Bitcoin really starts establishing some decent support and starts moving up into some higher ranges, it's going to cause a complete ripple effect across everything. So I am back to watching the play-by-play on Bitcoin versus the SPY, and it's interesting how this is playing out. Normally, it is absolutely every single move is matched perfectly, and in this case, Bitcoin has been more bearish than the S&P, which is very strange. It has not been like that ever. So there are forces. So anyway, it's fun to be back. I'm glad to be here. I'll be glad to be getting my videos out on time for the Pro channel. We had some extremely late nights, and even one night that the video didn't upload because of my crappy internet at the hotel. So, but anyway, we're it's a new start, and hopefully Bitcoin leads the way. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. So just remember, keep your trade small, be patient, wait for the trade to come to you, don't get caught up in all of the hype. You guys are gonna kill it.